What's up, guys? Harder and Zach here back again from Fly Shop Media. Here to give you guys our full breakdowns and predictions for this weekend's really solid UFC on ABC 4 card, man. Um, got some good fights from top to bottom. So you know we're gonna get right into it. Um, this card we look forward to giving you guys all our predictions and everything for each card. But this card I'm particularly excited about. You know, a lot of the fights, well, not a lot of the fight night cards, but some of the fight night cards, you look at them and they kind of lackluster. But I feel like on this card, they got a lot of fights that could go either way. A lot of real even fights on this card, man. So I'm looking forward to it. Before we jump into it, I want to remind you guys again to please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel at Flash Shop Media. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Flash Shop Media, and continue to follow us and spread the word for us. What you got? What you got, Zach?
Shoot, man, I'm ready to dive into this card, bro. We got a decent little fight night, UFC on ABC 4. Let's get into it with the first prelim card. We got Clark taking on Lebosa. Clark 11-8. Lebosa making her UFC debut at 5-2. What you got for this one?
Yeah, man, this is a fight right here, right straight off the jump that I feel like could go either way. But in this fight, man, I'm gonna go with Jessica Rose Clark by decision. Um, Lisboa making her UFC debut. I think Clark's wrestling would be the difference in this one. I see Clark getting to the ground and controlling it from there to get the win. But I also feel like if Lisboa can keep it on her feet, I think she can give Clark trouble with her Muay Thai. So I feel like if Clark wins, she'll lean heavy on her wrestling, and if Lisboa wants to win, she'll have the stuff to take downs and outstrike Clark using her Muay Thai. But I think Clark's wrestling will be the difference in this one. Plus, like I said, Lisboa is making her UFC debut. I know Clark hasn't had the best UFC career so far, but she has had experience in a big show, unlike Lisboa. But we'll see. I think this will be a fun fight to kick off the card, man.
Yeah, a couple of interesting different dynamics in this fight. Lisbosa is, UFC debut. Rose Clark does have a good bit of fights in the UFC. Lisbosa comes with a Muay Thai background. Rose Clark is mostly a stand-up fighter, but has shown that, she could take fights to the ground as long as, girls don't have a good armbar, she's all right in the grappling department. With Rose Clark, she has a similar fight in fighting Jocelyn Edwards, and Edwards was a striker who kind of lacked a ground game, and Rose Clark was able to get it to the ground and get the dub. I see this being a similar fight, and I look to see Rose Clark get a decision victory or a submission victory in this fight.
Yeah, I like it, but like I said, before we move on, I just want to point this out again. I think Clark doesn't have bad stand up, but Lisboa does have really good Muay Thai. So if she can get her striking going early, get her Muay Thai going early, I think she can pose trouble for Lisboa. But I like Lisboa in this fight, man.
All right, so we have second fight of the night, Gabe Green taking on Bryan Battle at 170. Bryan Battle, former tough winner, and Gabe Green known to have good fights with the likes of Ihor, Garry. What you see happening in this
Yeah,
fight?
yeah, man. Another solid fight. Another fight to me that could go either way. I really feel like it, but I feel confident in my pick here. With that being said, I'm gonna go with Bryan Battle by decision. I think his wrestling will be the biggest difference in this one. Um, his path to victory, I see him having some success on his feet and using his strikes to set up takedowns to win. And I think that'll be enough to get him a close decision victory. Like you said, Gabe Green's been in some tough, fun fights against some good opposition with guys like Ian Garry and a few other guys. So yeah, Gabe Green has been battle tested and won some close fights against good opposition. So I'm definitely not riding them off. But I think Bryan Battle gets the job done. Like I said, um, see him having some success on his feet, but his main path to victory is going to be getting those takedowns and controlling from there. So I see Bryan Battle winning a close decision in this.
Yeah, call me crazy, but I think this is Bryan Battle's fight. Clear cut to me. I think he outworks Gabe Green. Gabe Green does have a problem just walking guys down and not throwing enough. I think Bryan Battle is the exact opposite. And if you watched him on the Tough Show, man, he just outworks everybody he fights. Ran into a tough fight, his last one versus that Russian kid, but that kid was good. And as we see anybody coming from Russia, Dagestan, they're a problem. But yeah, I got Bryan Battle just putting more output in this fight to win a decision victory over Gabe Green.
Yep.
All right, moving to the third fight of the card. We have Jailton Kim taking on Mandy Bohm.
Yeah, man. In this fight, before I get into the to my prediction, I want to point this out. Both fighters desperately looking for a win. You got Kim on a full fight losing streak, and Mandy Bohm on a 2-fight losing streak. With that being said, I'm pretty sure I said Mandy Bohm in the early picks, in the early predictions pod, but I think I'm gonna switch my pick here, and I'm gonna go with Kim. I think either lady could win this fight, but I think Kim will be able to use her reach advantage to outstrike Bohm on the way to victory in this fight. I think that'll be the biggest difference in this one. But like I said, both ladies desperately need a win. I think whoever, I mean, I'm not, look, this is not my call, but I think whoever loses this fight might be getting cut from the UFC. So both fighters are going to be looking to put on their best performance, and dire need for a win. I think Kim, uh, I think Kim will be able to outstrike Bohm using that reach advantage, and that'll get her a victory in this one.
Welcome to the winning side, bro. I'm glad you changed your pick, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't, with women's MMA, you never know, but I think Jailton Kim just has more ways to win this fight. And when you're looking at a close fight, Mandy Baum, she's known to be a striker, but she hasn't really displayed like a lot of striking like in her fights, man. She's doing a lot of things that you don't really want to see at that high of a level. I think Jailton Kim exposes that and gets the victory via submission or via decision.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. Working up the card, we have Natan Levy coming off winning his recent past fight, taking on Pete Rodriguez, who's coming off a KO victory.
Yeah, this is a fight that I think a lot of people are sleeping on, man. We broke down Natan Levy. Uh, shoot, Natan Levy. I butchered his name right there. Natan Levy in the past, on a previous pod, and I'm pretty sure we've seen Pete Rodriguez as well. Um, but man, yeah, this is a fight I feel like is getting slept on the floor, man. Um, with that being said, I'm going with Levy by decision. His wrestling will be the biggest difference in this one. He's tough and very durable. Um, if Rodriguez can keep it on his feet, I think he could cause problems for Levy. But I don't see him being able to neutralize Levy's ground game. Like I said, Levy's had a little bit of cardio issues in the past. But with that being said, he's tough, he's durable. And his last fight, he showed his toughness. He grinded out a win. Um, as the fight went on, he showed he's tough. He showed he's got that dog in him. So I think I'm gonna go with Natan Levy, man. Wouldn't surprise me if Rodriguez can win. Good, powerful striker. But like I said, I think Levy's wrestling will be the difference. And if Levy can survive that early, I think Levy's gonna have to survive an early storm. I think Rodriguez is gonna come out hot. Put a lot of combinations together, put pressure on Levy. But if he can withstand the first round or even the first half of the first round and just get settled in, I think he'll be able to implement his wrestling and that'll get him to victory, man.
Man, I'm switching my pick, dog, and I gotta go with the underdog. I gotta go with my guy, Pete. I think he gets to
Okay,
knock out
that's fine.
uh, you know, Levy, like you said, his path to victory, I think, is not standing up with Pete, even though he's a karate guy and whatnot. He showed that, he needed his wrestling in his last fight. Man, I feel like Pete's gonna find that chin in this fight.
Yeah,
I
and
got,
look, if he does, it don't surprise me.
I seen him knock out Mike Jackson. I was like, he's supposed to do that. You know, his UFC debut didn't go his way. He fought Della Maddalena. You know, that's tough. But the fights outside of that, I watched, bro, this dude, I ain't realized how much power he got in his hands, dog. And I think if he touches him, man, that's a wrap. So I'm going with Pete, early KO on that one.
Yeah, man, he got some power, so we'll see.
All right, moving up the card, Cody Stamann taking on Douglas Silva de Andrade.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna go with Cody. Yeah, Cody saying by decision. I think his wrestling will be the difference, but if Andrade Andrade will have the advantage on his feet, whoever establishes their game plan first is gonna get the victory in this fight, man. Either Stamann's gonna out wrestle him or Andrade's gonna outstrike him on the way to victory. And I think Stamann's wrestling will be the difference. Another fight that both fighters have a clear path to victory. Um, Matchup of contrasted styles again. A lot of these fights, man, if you look on the card or a matchup of two different styles, so a lot of these fights are going to boil down to who can establish their game plan first, and that'll be the guy who gets the victory. But in this fight, I'm going to go with Stamann to out wrestle Douglas Silva de Andrade on his way to victory.
All right, let me tell people about DeAndre because I'm pretty sure nobody really knows him if you don't really, 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 really watch this. Two victories that he got in the UFC, one over Marlon Vera and the other one over Renan Barão. Don't know who Renan Barão is. He was the UFC bantamweight champ
Wow,
for a good
I
little
knew
minute.
him, bro.
For a good little minute, you feel me? So don't sleep on DeAndre. With that being said, he is 37. This fight was supposed to be a couple months back for whatever reason. I think Andrade got hurt or something happened, and Cody Stamann ended up taking another fight. So I think Stamann's wrestling is going to be the key factor, but he has to stay out of Andrade's submissions, man. He has to. If he's getting sloppy, Andrade is a sniper on the ground as well, with power on his feet. But I'm gonna go with Stamann being the younger fighter, being the more active fighter, and just having the wrestling advantage to win this fight, man.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, next up on the card we have Karl Williams versus Chase Sherman.
Yeah, man. I'm going. I'm gonna go with Carl Williams by KO. Actually, I think he's the more complete fighter with more tools in his game. Uh, Sherman, in my opinion, relies too much on his boxing, and I see Williams putting the pace on him, pushing the pace on him, um, wearing him down as the fight goes on, uh, and ultimately getting the finish. My thing is in this fight, Sherman's a boxer. Okay, that's what he relies on most. So I'm gonna say this. I think I think Williams' easiest path to victory is to use his wrestling. Get it to the ground and make it an MMA fight. So yeah, so if I'm in his camp, I would advise him to do that. Again, I'm not a coach. That's just me from what I see. But with that being said, man, I really think Williams can outstrike him as well, man. Because I think that, yeah, even though Sherman does have really good boxing, I feel like Williams will mix it up more on the feet and not, chop his legs down, mix up his striking and make it an MMA fight. So yeah, so I'm gonna go. I think Williams gets the stoppage in this one, man. And I think he can win in multiple ways. I'm gonna say get into the ground and ground and pound him. But to be honest, if he stopped him on the feet, it really wouldn't surprise me, man. So yeah, Williams does a lot for me. Even though we're not betting and all that, Williams does a lot for me.
I see what you're saying, bro, but I feel like Williams just takes it to the ground, and Sherman does not get up at all.
Oh yeah, that's his easiest path to victory for
Yeah,
sure. 100%.
I think he just takes him down at will. Sherman does have decent kickboxing, but it's just I don't know. I think Carl Williams is going to be a guy that we could see possibly crack the top 15. Not saying he goes above that. We still got to see more out of him, but really good wrestler for the division. And like you say, he does have a little bit of striking with him, but it's mostly to set up the takedowns. So we'll see. But I got Williams probably by TKO stoppage on the ground.
Yep, I agree. Yep.
All right, moving up the card, we have 42-year-old Matt Brown taking on 38-year-old Court McGee.
Man, God, I went back and forth on this fight, man. I might change it at the last minute, bro. Listen, how about this? And I'm not saying this because I want to copy you. And that you break this one down first. Let me think about it. Go ahead.
All right. This is 50-50, man. We're
Yeah.
not no betting YouTube channel no more, but if you still watching this, don't bet on this fight, dog. Just don't do it. Um, it's never, I mean, I'm going with the 42-year-old, and you know what I'm saying? I still have iffy feelings about it. Court McGee is a grinder. He's looking to grind you out, clinch you up, not do anything special, spectacular, but just enough to win. And now they're judging fights more on damage, and Matt Brown is all about damage. So, I mean, Court McGee can be hugging him against the fence for 4 minutes, and Matt Brown can throw some knees and elbows for like 30 seconds, and they might score for him. You feel me? I feel like Matt is going to be way more busier on the feet. He's definitely a better stand-up fighter. It's just, I don't know how a 42-year-old Matt Brown is going to respond if he's on his back. You know what I'm saying? Is he going to be the same Matt Brown that has the urgency to get up? I don't know. And how is Court McGee going to come out, man? He hasn't been that active. So I'm going with Matt Brown, but you know what I'm saying? This is a fight where it's anybody's ball game.
Yeah, you didn't make it much easier on me. Um, I'm gonna say this. Can I just take my time a little bit on this one?
Yeah, do what you
You
got to do,
got
man.
time? Yeah. Okay. We did our quick picks video, and when I went back when we got off of there, I started looking at things in the card, and I forgot about Matt Brown's last fight, which didn't he win that fight by stoppage, if I'm not mistaken?
Let me check. He lost a split decision to Bryan Barberina.
Yeah, I was there. I knew it was a wild ass fight. I knew it was something. Yeah, which I thought he won that fight. By the way, that's what it was. I thought he won that fight against Bryan Barberina. Oh, so that fight popped into my head. And I'm like, man, you know what? I love Matt Brown. Matt Brown's a freaking OG. Um, you know what? I'm gonna just take the right out of my notes and ride with it. I'm gonna go with Court McGee by a very close decision. Um, Even though they're both old, he is a few years younger. Not that it means much in this scenario, but he's a few years younger. I think that McGee's wrestling will be the difference, even though Brown has really good BJJ as well. Very close fight to call. Like Zach said, um, Matt Brown is better on the feet as well, and he's gonna look to inflict more damage. I feel, but I think Court McGee's wrestling is gonna be the difference. If Matt Brown can keep it on his feet, I think he wins and has actually has a chance to stop Court McGee on the feet. But I think Court's wrestling is gonna carry him through. Very close fight. Court McGee by close decision.
All right, moving up the card, we have Tim Means taking on Alex Morono.
Yeah, man, this is a fight again. I'm not riding off Tim Means, but this is actually a pick that I'm pretty confident in, man. I'm gonna go with Moreno. He's struggling to be the difference. I see him being able to outstrike outstrike Means on his way down win. I think he'll have the better cardio as well, and I think that'll be a big factor in this one. But Tim Means is a vet. He's been around. He's seen the whole guy. Good jiu-jitsu as well. So that's another thing to look out for in this one. But I think Morono will be able to outstrike him on his way to victory.
Listen, man, this is a close fight to me. I think Tim Means, you know what I'm saying? Even though he's 39, you feel me? He's coming off two losses. One is versus Max Griffin. You know what I'm saying? Split decision that could have went either way. And the other one is versus Kevin Holland. You know, we know how good Kevin Holland is. Before that, 3-fight win streak, including Mike Perry. I was striking Mike Perry, the BKFC unofficial champ. You feel me? So, and he comes with a good ground game as well. Alex Morono, he has been taking super short notice fights. And when he's not taking super short notice fights, he's usually winning them. Full camp with this. He had a tough loss versus Santiago Ponzinibbio, which he was winning. And then he put together a nice little win streak, you know, including Cowboy Cerrone. So if you look at Morono's losses, you look at Tim Means' losses, they're only losing to really, really good guys. I think this is a very close fight. If Tim Means would let his hands go, I'd be more confident in him. But I think Morono is going to be a little more active than him. And
hey, go ahead.
So I'm picking Morono on this one, but don't slip on Tim Means. This ain't a give me fight to me at all.
All right. So we both, we both changed one of our quick pick predictions, man. Because I remember you went with Tim Means in the early prediction. So
Yeah, man. It's still a close fight to me though. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no.
Yeah. No. It's no gimmick. It's no gimmick. But I think,
bro. You was talking about it was a gimme, dog. You
no,
said
I said
it's
it
your most
was
confident pick.
one of them.
All right, man. Just know when you talk, I listen, bro.
I see that.
All right. We got Carlos Ulberg taking on Ihor Potieria.
Yeah, man.
You know you want to go with Ihor, man.
No. I'm just gathering my thoughts here. Yeah. So, you got me, bro. I had a call coming in. You got me?
I got you.
Okay. Um, yeah, man. Carlos Ulberg versus Ihor Potieria. I don't see this one going the distance. I see a striking heavy matchup in this one. I'm going with Ulberg to catch Potieria on the chin. And winning a wild exchange on his way to victory. I think Ulberg's a little more technical, and that'll be the biggest difference in this one. I'm going to go Ulberg by KO, but I think both guys are live for a KO. I don't see this fight going to the ground much, but I like Ulberg in this.
Yeah, I mean, talk about most confident pick in the card. This is mine. I see Ulberg winning this one, you know, pretty dominantly. Ihor likes to strike. He did put away Shogun, but before that, lost a fight to Nega Morono. Ulberg on a 3-fight winning streak, trains with the City Kickboxing Boys, decorated kickboxer as well. Outside of that, look for Ulberg to get it done pretty early in this one. You know, I got KO or TKO.
Yeah, I think Ihor's on the 10, and I see Ihor running out of gas as well. I think he's gonna come out, fast, try to come out fast, try to start winning some shots, try to catch him early, and I think he could. I don't think he will. I just think he could because I feel like he's gonna try to come out and try to wow everybody. But once it settles down, I see Ulberg taking control of it and getting a KO.
All right, next up we have Daniel Rodriguez taking on Ian Garry.
Damn.
You could change it, bro. It's all good.
No, I'm not gonna change it. No, I'm not. I just fight that it's interesting. That's what I'm saying. It's not a fight that I can just jump all over and. Yeah, but with that being said, I'm gonna go with Daniel Rodriguez by decision. I think his experience will be the biggest difference in this one. This is a big step up for Ian Garry. Also got rocked in his last fight. I think Rodriguez will be able to catch catch him catch him on the feet, and I think Rodriguez can out grapple him as well if he goes to the ground. And I also feel like Rodriguez is gonna be the bigger guy. Rodriguez will be the bigger guy. He'll be able to out muscle Garry a little bit, if he needs to. But Garry's got really good boxing, and he can. Rodriguez has been susceptible to leg kicks as well in the past a little bit. So I think Garry can, get get some get a strike going early and make it instant. But I just feel like D-Rod's experience will be the biggest difference, and I feel like D-Rod just got a few more tools, man. But ultimately, his experience will be the biggest factor for me. And look, if like I said, this is the biggest step up for Ian Garry in his entire career. If Ian Garry comes out and establishes his game plan early, he can get the victory, and this would be a nice win for him. But I think D-Rod's experience would be the biggest difference here.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I gotta change my pick for this one. I gotta go D-Rod. Ian Garry, if he does win this fight, this would probably be the last time I pick against him. But
Yeah.
it's gonna be a fight where we really find out how good he is. There's one thing that I don't like about Ian Garry, and he gets hit and hurt in fights. And
Yeah.
these are against guys outside the top 15. It could be he's just fighting lesser competition and fighting to their level. So maybe he gets a better opponent, he fights to a higher level. I don't know. But one thing is for sure, we're gonna find out because Rodriguez comes forward nonstop. He throws a lot of straight shots. And Ian Garry does like to fight off his back foot. And I think that could be dangerous versus a guy like D-Rod. So we'll see. I'm gonna go with the vet on this one.
Now let me ask you this, like before we move on. I'm expecting a striking every matchup. Don't get me wrong, I definitely am. But if it gets to some grappling exchanges, who do you think has the advantage in the grappling?
Whoever initiates it, I think like they're so heavy of strikers, we never really see them shoot. So I think whoever would initiate it first probably gets it by surprise.
Yeah, and also, who do you think is the stronger man? Just from a pure,
Rodriguez.
me too. And I think that's gonna play a big factor, man. I think he'll be the bigger guy, stronger guy, and I just and my thing is Garry's talented. He's obviously talented, and he's never in a boring fight. But it's the biggest step up for him. We haven't seen him fight the best opposition, so we don't know what we're gonna get from him when he takes a step up on Saturday. We've
Right.
seen him get rocked in the past. We've seen him have trouble. Yeah, he's won every fight, but we've seen him, be in some trouble against lesser opposition. So I feel like that's what's making me lean towards Rodriguez in this.
And you see, like, I don't know if you ever had this problem, but I do when picking fights. It's like in my gut, I would go with a guy like Rodriguez who would kind of see the path to victory. And then you got an undefeated guy, and they're like, he's super hyped up. And I'm like, man, maybe I'm tripping to go with the undefeated guy.
Yeah. Oh,
Gotta,
absolutely,
I
one
gotta
hundred
stick.
percent.
I gotta stick with my guns on this one and go Rodriguez.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I hadn't watched a lick of film on this fight. Don't
Yeah,
get me wrong. I've seen both guys fight in the past,
right. I
but I
mean, they're
think
always on the main card, and co-main event. I mean, not main
but
card, but they're on TV. You feel me?
yeah, but I didn't want to go. And sometimes I even with like Gaethje and Faziev, I even went back and watched some film on them.
Yeah,
Not that I didn't know them, but I kind of wanted to go a little bit deeper. But this fight, I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to get too caught up and overthink it. I
yeah,
feel like my gut tells me the right thing, and that's why I'm just rocking with it.
no doubt. So we have co-main event action. We have Anthony Smith taking on Johnny Walker. What we got on this one?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Anthony Smith. He's a more well-rounded fighter. I think he'll be able to. I think. I think Anthony Smith will get it to the ground and be able to submit Johnny Walker. So yeah, I'm It's not a lot. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna go with Anthony Smith for by submission, but I think his ground game will be better than Walker's. I'm not gonna say how he wins. I'm gonna just say I'm going with Anthony Smith. I think he's got a few more tools in his bag. Um, he's a more well-rounded fighter, and yeah, I'm gonna go with Anthony Smith in this.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fight where, you have Anthony Smith, who's a guy like top three, top five, always around there. And he's only losing to guys who have the title or who are about to fight for the title. You look at a guy like Johnny Walker, he gets on a win streak and loses to like top 10 guys. And he's finally got himself on another winning streak to get him to that next level where Anthony Smith is at. And I think, this is like the perfect kind of fights for Anthony Smith to where like it's not for a title, it's not for number one contender. These are the fights where he usually shines in, and these are usually the fights where Johnny Walker kind of chokes in. So I gotta go with Smith on this one. Just being more of a well-rounded fighter, not looking to rush it, and probably second, third round finish.
Uh, how you see him? Yeah, how do you see him getting the finish?
I think either way he wants it on the feet or on the ground.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
I think
Because
he's
I
well-rounded
had
enough.
because I had in my notes. This is what I had in my notes. I said more well-rounded fighter, and I think he'll be able to outstrike Walker on his way to victory, which I think he'll be able to do that. But I started thinking more. I'm like, man, he's got a good ground game. Well, I just feel I'm the same way, and I feel the same way. I feel like he can get it done either way he wants, on the feet or on the ground. But that's why I wanted to ask you what you thought, because I was kind of thinking that. So that's why I didn't want to lock in a submission or a KO or whatever. But yeah, I feel like he can get it done either way.
And Anthony Smith's a tough guy to finish. It's not like, he gets hit and he goes to sleep. Johnny Walker's knocking guys out, but it's not the guys with the best chins. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, main event action. We have Jairzinho Rozenstruik taking on Jailton Almeida.
I'm going with Almeida by decision. I'm sorry, by submission. I'm going with Almeida by submission. I see him being able to get into the ground and get a pretty early sub. If Rozenstruik can keep it on his feet, he could cause problems for Almeida. We hadn't really seen Almeida have to outstrike guys in the way to victory. He's pretty. He's been able to get it to the ground pretty easy in really all of his fights. So if Rozenstruik can stub those takedowns and force Almeida to strike, he could definitely cause some problems. I think Rozenstruik will have the hands on the feet, but I don't see him being able to. Even if he does stuff some takedowns, I don't think he'll be able to stuff enough takedowns. I think Almeida, or maybe he could stuff some in the beginning, but Almeida will be just relentless for the takedown. Ultimately, get him to the ground and submit him for the victory, man.
Yeah, don't look for Almeida to strike a Rozenstruik, man. He's gonna shoot right away, and I think this is gonna be
Yeah,
a quick main event submission victory, and I think people are
me
gonna be,
too.
going crazy over Almeida. This is first main event spot at a fight night, so I think the UFC is really looking to push him. They've been keeping him active. Even when fights fall out for him, they find him opponent. So I think they're really big on him, going to heavyweight, switching to light heavyweight. So I think this would be a pretty quick dominant submission victory for him and, look for bigger and better opponents for him as well.
Yep, I agree. I'm really high on Almeida, man, and looking forward to seeing what he can do.
All right. So, we don't do betting anymore, but if I had to give y'all three like, locks that I think they're definitely gonna win. My first one would probably be Carl Williams. My second one would be Carlos Ulberg, and my third one would probably be Almeida. You agree with that?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, fight of the night. Who do you think gets fight of the night? Just looking at the card.
Shoot. Run it down for me again, man, so I can like
So we
maybe.
got Clark versus Lisboa, Battle versus Green, Bohm versus Kim, Levy versus Rodriguez, Andrade versus Stamann, Williams versus Sherman, McGee versus Brown, Means versus Morono, Portilla, Ulberg, Rodriguez, Garry, Johnny Walker, Anthony Smith in the main event.
I think Rodriguez and Garry gonna be a banger, man.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go with Tim Means and Morono, man. I think they're just gonna stand up and beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah, yeah. That would be my second. That would be my second. Well, what would be your second? I guess.
Probably the one you got.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Who are you most excited to see on this card?
Jailton Almeida and the Ian Garry fight because Jailton Almeida are really high on him. Um, like we both said, we both agree that he will be able to get the submission victory pretty early. But Rozenstruik's not a slouch, man. You know, so yeah, this gonna be a test for him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you, if he runs through Rozenstruik, that's gonna be a huge statement. You know, his first main event, on an ABC card, worldwide on ABC. You know, big stage for him, and also Ian Garry. First of all, I think it's gonna be a great fight. Number one, and number two, Ian Garry, because we talked about it already. Big step up for him. Biggest fight of his career. This is gonna tell us a lot about Ian Garry. So that's the two fights that I'm looking forward to the most. Because I feel like we're gonna get a lot of answers, a lot of questions answered in those two fights.
All right, so that wraps up the UFC on ABC 4 card. We still have other fights happening this weekend. We have the Bellator card, Musasi versus Fabian Edwards, Leon Edwards' brother. We got BKFC going on. They have a fight in North Carolina. They got a guy from North Carolina headlining it, fighting a guy from the UK. And we also have some ESPN top rank fights, and we also have the return of Rolly. Um, Before we wrap this up, we're gonna kind of touch up on a few UFC fight announcements. And also I did not know this, bro. Rolly is fighting for a 140 WBA belt world title.
Man,
That's crazy, huh?
coming off a loss,
Coming off a loss, bro.
a
He's fight
knockout loss, by the way.
he's fighting for the WBA 140 title. So he should win this fight. He gets the 140 title. You got the WBC champ, that's Regis. You got the WBO champ, that's Josh Taylor, and then you got the IBF champ. I really don't know who that is, but you know, the ultimate goal is to unify all titles. Um, would you see Regis versus Rolly at 140? You think that would be a fight that could happen?
Yeah, and I think we just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sorry, I mean I don't want to, I'm not
you
trying
know
to.
Regis is our guy out here, but man,
No,
stylistic.
no, it's not being a homer. Don't be wrong, because
Yeah,
when he fought Josh Taylor, when Regis fought Josh Taylor, obviously I wanted Regis to win, and I was pulling for Regis. And I don't remember what my thoughts were going into that fight. I really don't, but I knew that fight could have went either way. I mean, look, that's another story for another day. But say if Regis would have fought Josh Taylor, we'd have done that podcast. I wouldn't have jumped in there and said, "Oh yeah, Regis is gonna dominate Josh Taylor." No, but I call a spade, and Regis. For since that Josh Taylor fight, Regis has gotten, in my opinion, 100 times better since that Josh Taylor fight. I
definitely.
mean, to me, he's a completely different fighter. So Regis, man, and look, the guy just signed with Eddie Hearn. I'm sorry, I don't want to get too much off track.
You're
But the
good.
guy just signed with Eddie Hearn. He's gonna get bigger and better fights. Regis program has got a chance to be a big star in boxing, man. He already is a good fighter, but to me, he's got a chance to be a star if he plays his cards right.
So let's map out the 140 division right quick in the future. We got Haney at 135. If he beats Saloma, he's talked about going to 140. We got Tiafimo talking about going to 140. We got Ryan talking about going to 140. So those are three big names that are about to enter 140. You got Josh Taylor. I think he's going. Who's Josh Taylor fighting next, man? Is he fighting Tio?
I think it is Theo, and I wanted you to check that. I was about
Yeah.
to say I asked you to check into, and that's a really good fight, man.
Let me
No,
check that real quick.
I know they had rumors of inviting Teofimo Lopez, but I don't know if it was official.
Yeah, let me check BoxRec right quick. But yeah, if they do make that fight, that's big. Yeah, so June 10th, Josh Taylor. So you got Teofimo and Josh Taylor at 140. You know what I'm saying? One of them,
Very good fight, by the way.
whoever
Very
wins
good.
that is, they up there. So I think Regis versus Rolly would be a fight to make. That's a fun fight to make. And I think if Teofimo wins, I think if Josh Taylor wins, he moves to 147. Can you agree with that?
Yeah.
I think if Teofimo wins, he stays at 140. And
And you
do
gotta
you
let him fight Regis to me.
I think, man, Devin Haney coming from 135, fight Teofimo at 140. That's a fight right there.
Yeah, because they've
They've
been
been
ready
at
to
it.
cross paths with each other.
So they've been
Yeah.
at it. I think you let Ryan fight somebody like a warm up at 140, and then he has his pick, whoever he wants to fight. But 140, I think, is gonna be the new 135. All those 35ers are moving up, and I think it's gonna be real interesting for boxing at that weight.
What's next for Regis? I think if he wins this fight, right here.
I'd say Rolly, man. That way you get two belts.
Yeah, I think I think he stopped rolling in about 6.
So you get two belts, and then you're looking to unify, you know. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So we're gonna end it off with a couple UFC announcements. Let's see. So they just released that Demir Ismagulov is gonna take on Grant Dawson July 1st. That's a good little lightweight bout. Both of them are ranked. Halion taking on Mara Bueno Silva. Uh, this one is gonna headline the July 15th card. Bueno Silva on a good win streak and Halion coming off a good little win. And then the big news is that, the UFC 290 main card got released. You got Volk versus Rodriguez, Moreno versus Pantoja, Whitaker versus Duplessis, Jalen Turner versus Hooker, Bo Nickel on the card taking on Trayshawn Gore. So are you excited for that UFC 290 as much as I am?
Hell yeah, the sky. Yeah, hell yeah.
I
Do I
think
have a
that's
damn wheelchair? Hell yeah.
I think that's, the biggest card coming up for the UFC right now. Also, Tom Aspinall is taking on Morcine Tarbira, UFC London, July 22nd. You excited to see Tom Aspinall back in action?
Yeah, man. I'd rather see him back, see what he can do. Um, yeah. I think he's got a bright future, man.
Also added to the London card, Lerone Murphy taking on Josh Galibao. Um, Armin Sarikian taking on Joakim Silva, June 17th. And yeah, we have Emily Ducote will now face Lupe Godinez May 20th. And that's all the fights announced since the last podcast.
What was the one that I sent you a couple of days ago on Messenger?
Robbie Lawler versus who's Robbie Lawler fighting?
No, I know the one you talking about, but that I feel like that was another one that I sent.
Oh, Jamal Hill taking on Prokashka.
Yeah,
UFC
yeah. They
292.
rescheduled that one. Is that official?
I don't know if it's official, but it's targeted for UFC 292. So that's the plan.
I sure the hell hope it is, cause man, yeah, I want to see that fight.
And another thing, man, free my boy Tony Ferg, man.
Yeah, man. Did he go to there? Yeah, we got. Yeah, forgot
We can't
about that.
talk too much about it, but free that boy.
And yeah, and Nate Diaz walking out of New Orleans, man, and
Hey, another
in the
thing too
Christmas
that we
state.
ain't talk about, Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz, man. What you think about that?
I'm gonna tell you right now, Jake Paul wins that fight.
Yeah,
Well,
I
what
mean,
you think?
It's a guy who's been boxing, doing a boxing fight, and it's a guy who's been doing MMA, doing a boxing fight. So
And dude, I'm gonna just tell you right now, that fight's gonna be so wild. Nate's gonna be like he's on a street fight, man. You know, like running after him and shit.
Nate's
You
a
know.
gamer. He does have a lot of boxing sparring experience with guys.
Yeah, man, but it's different,
It's
man.
different, you feel me? I don't know, man. I think Jake Paul is just gonna be the more of a boxer in this fight.
And look, I don't
Heavier
see Jake
guy.
stopping him now.
Yeah, I mean
Look,
Nate's tough.
yeah, yeah.
Any other news you got, man? Are you ready to wrap this up?
Trying to think, man. I think we covered just about everything.
Yeah, man. So we got the UFC on ABC card Saturday. I want to say Bellator is Friday. BKFC is Saturday. And then ESPN Top Rank card Saturday. And then Rolly fight Saturday as well. So we got a lot of fights. We're gonna recap them all. But stick with us, man. Subscribe, like, comment. Harley, got anything for the viewers?
Nope. Like Jack said, just stick with us, like, comment, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Flashshot Media, and we'll see you next week for the recap.
Peace.